for joining me again today. This is Millennium TV 24. Happy Independence Day. Money Talks with your host, Cynthia Abbott. Today, the 4th of July. I know most people are celebrating. As you celebrate, please stay safe and make sure that you remember one thing. We're not free. We're not free until we're financially free. So what better day to talk about financial independence on Independence Day, right? So as we talked last time about building your financial home, I brought in an expert last week. She talked about, Miss Roselane talked about the will. We talked about the power of attorney, the financial power of attorney, because we're building your financial home. We want to make sure it's protected. Having that foundation in place, having that term life insurance to protect the foundation, and then making sure the roof is protected with your will, your power of attorney. Miss Roselane, she talked about having that medical power of attorney. God forbid something happens to you, your loved one, you can talk from the bed with being under life support. You can talk from the grave with your will, because your wishes will be carried out if you put these things in place. So thank you again for joining me, and today we'll get right into it as we talk about continuing to build your financial wealth, your financial independence. So I'm so excited, and it's always a privilege. It's a pleasure and a privilege to be with you guys here today. And your personal pathway, financial pathway, is the pathway to financial freedom. Freedom isn't free. It's not free until you pay the price. There's a price that our forefathers had to pay in order to get us here, in order to get us to the even independence of, being able to talk and speak freely and have our own opinions and being able to vote. We have this independence, but what about the financial independence? Who is going to teach you how to be financially independent? I am your financial guide. And as your financial guide, I have one goal and one goal only, is to help you to become financially free. You will become financially free. A life you truly, truly deserve. A life you were born to have. This show you will continue to learn and gain knowledge of how to handle your monies, how to protect your income, and how to protect your loved ones. Again, making sure you have that power of attorney, the financial power of attorney, the medical power of attorney in place. Because when you have those in place, those are powerful. Those speak your wishes. You are able to then say, who is going to take care of my children? Your children is part of your wealth. Your family is part of your wealth, not leaving them with that headache, that heartache, and the financial burden to take care of your finances. So I will continue to stress the importance of having these things in place, your documents that need to be in place, God forbid something happen, because there's one thing that's certain. One thing that's certain, guys, is that we all are going to die. Yes, we're going to die. It's certain. No one is immortal. We will die. So it's either you die too soon or you live too long and then you die. But we are going to die. So it's important, again, to make sure we put our house in order. And there are some statistics that I'll be talking about today. Changing your thoughts and your feelings about money. That's one thing that I want to make sure that we all understand. Our thoughts and our feelings affect our money. Clear your mind of all the negative rumors around, the negative voices around, the negative feelings about money, because we were taught from childhood about money. We either was taught how to handle money, how to love money, or how to hate money. And we have to now take a moment, reflect on what you were taught as a child, of how money really works. how money is a relationship to your growth or lack of. Reflect on what you was told about money. Is it evil, or is going to be able to provide you with freedom? Now, most of us, as myself growing up in the land of Jamaica, I knew we did not have money. We may have had food, but we didn't have a lot of money. So I had to look at my relationship with money and how I view money, because if you view it in a negative way, it won't come to you. So we will talk about opening up your mind and manifesting money, because we were born rich. We all were born rich. It's just a matter of opening up your mind and manifesting that money so we can have that financial independence. Remember, we're not free until we're financially sound. Being financially sound is true freedom. You call the shots. You say what you want, how you want, when you want. No restrictions on any territory where you want to be. No restrictions on your children's education. No restrictions on your retirement, whatever that looks like, age 35 or 85, because you can retire at any age. So take a personal look at what you want, because we need to be able to touch everyone's soul and talk with them about the real finances, because we're all experiencing some money across all borders, because money does not discriminate, guys. It affects us no matter what race you are, no matter what age you are, no matter what gender you are. Money affects us all. So we all have to make sure that it's not a secret. Don't keep it a secret if you have money issues. Talk about it. Get help. And as your financial guide, as your financial advisor, I am here to guide you on that pathway again to financial freedom, because you so deserve it. So let's talk about some key findings. There are some key findings that I'll be talking about today from a top financial expert, financial firm, that they did a survey of middle-class families experiencing financial challenges, because during this pandemic, we all know there were many financial challenges, but we know there were some financial advantages. However, this top financial firm have stated in their survey that 57% of households rated their personal finances positively. 57%. So additionally, 40% rated the economic health of their community positively. Only 40%. So how would you rate the condition of your personal finances? How do you rate it? Based on this survey, 64% of folks rated their personal finances as not so good. 64%. 42% rated their finances as good. So if you have that many people who are rating their personal finances as not so good, do you believe me when I say that we need to talk about our money? We need to have a coach. We need to have a mentor, because we're not alone. No one is alone in this scenario. However, if you don't talk about it, we can't help you. And I'm not talking to the people who are able and have someone to guide them down this pathway and be real with them and be honest and really understand their situation. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people that need the support, because based on this survey, more people need us now than ever, need a professional expert to guide them on the right pathway to financial freedom. You're not alone, and you cannot do this alone. Your co-worker is not your personal finance expert. Your co-worker is working in the same place as you. Your coworker is not working somewhere where they're getting the financial advice and don't need a job. They're not the financial expert. You need the support. We all need support. No matter what you do in life, having a mentor helps you to get there faster. Wouldn't you agree? So remember, you're not free until you're financially sound. And based on this expert, another survey that was done with families, and these are families whose income was between $30,000 and $300,000. Again, their income was $30,000 and between $30,000 and $300,000. So we're talking about a large, vast majority of people at different income levels. Not just the working poor, we're talking about middle-class Americans. The families felt that they were falling behind after 3 months of not having that emergency fund in place. And we talked about putting that as a part of your financial home, right? So you see how it all ties in. As far as the statistics here, 59% felt their income was falling behind because of cost of living. Cost of living, guys, compared to the cost of living that they had before the pandemic, 59% are falling behind or have fallen behind. And these families stated that within the next year, they anticipate that their finances, 23% anticipate that their finances will be a little bit better, only 23%. So when I return, we will continue to talk about some of these statistics. So hold tight, and I'll see you in a few minutes.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV. Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for holding tight as we talk about financial independence on Independence Day. So the findings, again, as we stated, in this top financial firm, their findings after surveying middle-class Americans, families, whose income was in the range of $30,000 to $300,000. The corona pandemic has affected families financially in drastically different ways. And these are the findings. 26% of these families reported that their income has 26% have reported that the pandemic has affected their spending. 26% reported that the pandemic has impacted decrease in spending. And 26% reported supporting families and friends. So in supporting those families and friends, they had to either give them money or lend them money because they were in a worse situation than they were. So if you're always giving or lending your money, are you not taking away from yourself and leaving yourself short? So understand, having money is okay. It's all right to have money, because if you can financially take care of your circumstances and help families and friends and not feel that you're behind or you're left undone and you don't have enough, that's freedom. To be able to say, I can help my mother, father, sister, or brother. I can pay their mortgage. I can pay their rent. I can pay 3 months or 6 months or 8 months of their expenses and not feel like I am left with nothing. So that's financial freedom, freeing up money to be able to help your loved ones. 24% of these families found that they had increase in personal debt, credit card debt. So you guys remember when we talked about the debt cycle versus the cash cycle. So 26% of these families found that their income was not enough to pay for their debt. So they use credit cards. So they're now far gone when it comes to credit card debt. So if you don't have enough to take care of the expenses, you use the credit card, right? And then what happened? It pushes you further behind. So we talked about debt stacking, cut your debt in half. That is a solution. So I'm not here to talk with you and be a downer about your finances. I'm not here to talk about all the problems, but I'm talking about the reality of what has happened throughout the pandemic. The statistics that was brought to you from a financial firm that rated and stated these families have experienced these financial difficulties. 30% of these families spend money of their financial retirement funds. They took their financial retirement money that was put away for them to be able to retire one day. 30% of these families had to spend that money. Yes, of course, we know that there is a penalty if you're 59 and a half years old and you take that money. I know the IRS has allotted $100,000 without penalty due to the pandemic last year if you did spend your retirement funds. However, you have to pay taxes on that. And what happens, you do have time to put it back if you do put that money back into your retirement fund. But don't worry. I know that that was your money, you saved it, and you needed it. So these are the real issues that's affecting families. The most common use of the corona relief payments, the stimulus checks, based on this survey that was done by this top financial firms, 45% of families reported that they used this money to pay their bills. 45%, that's a huge percentage. 26% used the money for groceries, and 23% used the money to pay down debt. Even though it wasn't enough, it was still something to help them to pay down the debt. 20% of these families of this survey, they stated that 20% of these families saved their stimulus check. They saved their monies in order to make money. So remember, on previous shows, I talked about saving for emergency and making the most, maximizing your dollars. So 20% of these families, they use their monies, their stimulus check, to save it, to maximize those dollars, because they wanted to be ahead of the money game. So these are real and serious problems. Wouldn't you guys agree? So let's make sure that as we build your financial home, we're talking about the real issues. You're not alone. These are families, there's a real people that were experiencing difficulties throughout this crisis. You're not alone, so talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's not put it away and feel like if you put it away and not open up those bills and not pay those bills, they will disappear. Magically, I promise you, they will not disappear. It'll cause you more heartache, more headaches. So let's take care of it. As your coach, your guide, I will help you to show you ways. Opportunities are out there, guys. There are opportunities to help you to make more money, earn additional income so that you can continue to provide for your families. The stimulus checks, yes, most people did use it to take care of their expenses, their debt, but there are 20% who was able to save that money because they already had that emergency savings in place. So you see the importance of having this financial house built. You see the importance of having that foundation. Because in this survey, it also states that there were families who did not experience any difficulties because their foundation was solid. Again, the foundation was solid. So when the pandemic came and the shift took place and the income was affected and families lost their loved ones, they lost their breadwinner. Now the breadwinner is the money machine in the family. You're the money machine in the family if you're bringing home an income to take care of the expenses. You're the money machine in your family if your income have to go towards taking care of your children's expenses and their education. You're the money machine in your family if your income has to be spent towards any type of bills, debt, or savings. So having financial independence, it means that you don't need that extra money to take care of those things, right? So if someone lost their income, they're the money machine, and they're no longer here because remember I said we all are going to die one day. So that term life insurance in the survey, it states that they were able to continue living either the same lifestyle or better lifestyle when the money machine in the family was gone. So the foundation, again, as I tie that into our financial home, I know I continue to stress the importance of that, but the survey have proven that having that income protection, because that's what it is, it's income protection. Your income is no longer there. If you had a toaster oven, right, and every 2 weeks you find $2,000 popping out, that's $4,000 for the month. If $2,000 pop out every 2 weeks, would you insure that toaster? I know I would. So if you would insure the toaster, why wouldn't you insure your income? Again, making sure you have that foundation is key because these things happen. So what's going on with what's going on with the working poor, the middle class families? In this survey, it has shown that families reported waking up at night worried about their finances. The numbers are real. The numbers are real. Numbers do not lie. Correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, numbers do not lie. 38% of these families was staying up at night worried about their personal health. Personal health, financial health, it all ties in. It's a perfect marriage. If your financial health is not well, your personal health is not well. And throughout these hard times, we've seen that mental health, the numbers have skyrocketed in mental health. Mental health is a part of your physical health. You have to take care of that. So as we talk about these findings from these top financial firms, I'll give you some more numbers because they don't lie. We'll take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Welcome back as we talk about financial independence on Independence Day. As I stated before, the top financial firm survey that surveyed middle-class Americans making anywhere from $30,000 to $300,000. We talked about what's keeping them up at night. These families reported, 38% reported that these issues are affecting their personal health. 28% of these families reported the current financial situation is keeping them up at night. They cannot sleep. And 22% of these families have reported that they stay up at night worried about becoming unemployed. So do you understand how this all ties into your finances? Personal health, current finances, and becoming unemployed. Why are people thinking about becoming unemployed? Because the uncertainty of this climate now. There are businesses shutting down. We all hear it, right? About the businesses that are not opening up their doors. So families are worried about what's going to happen. Not sleeping at night, hoping that when they walk into those doors of their current employer, the doors are open. And let me tell you, I know this as a businesswoman, that the first thing that's cut on a company's budget is not the housekeeper, it's not the coffee machine, it's the employee. Because that's the biggest overhead, is an employee. So this is the reason why 22% of these families are worried about becoming unemployed, because at any moment an employer can say, we no longer need 10 employees. We no longer need 100 employees. Let's cut it down to 50 because we can get 50 people to do what 100 people do. Sometimes 50 people do what 300 people do. So they're worried that they may not have that paycheck. And what about the paycheck? Let's talk about the paycheck, because the survey have proven that families have reported that they're living paycheck to paycheck pre-COVID-19. So if paycheck to paycheck was an issue pre-COVID-19, the paycheck to paycheck is more of an issue now. So if you no longer have that paycheck coming in, how do you continue to take care of those needs for your families? And what are those needs? Shelter. Having housing is a big issue because a lot of people are not able to pay for their rent. A lot of people not able to continue paying their mortgages. Having housing is a need. Having food is a need. Can't take care of feeding your family is an issue. So this is why these numbers are so high, because people are really truly worried about not being able to continue having shelter to protect their loved ones, not having food to feed their loved one. Clothing is a need. If you don't have the proper attire to go outside, because the weather does change, so you need to have a coat when it's cold. If they cannot afford to buy a coat, if they can't afford to have the proper footwear for their children to be able to protect them in different climates, then that's an issue. So you understand why this issue is a problem that we need to discuss. And we're not alone, guys. These are real people experiencing real issues. So the importance of this show, again, is to teach you how to build that financial house. Build it strong, build it solid. And if there's any storms, any hurricane, any epidemic, pandemic, we're going to seal the creases. We're going to make sure that we continue to protect your home and make sure you have all the things necessary to continue to live the same lifestyle or better lifestyle. So having that financial freedom where that paycheck is not required anymore, because that's financial independence, financial freedom. The paycheck is no longer an issue. If you do have a paycheck, you don't need it to pay your bills. You don't need it to take care of your expenses. You don't need to save it because you're financially free. So it's just additional monies that you can have just in case you need to take care of things for your loved ones. Not relying on a credit card is financial freedom. We have to work towards freedom, guys. We're in bondage here if we're not financially free. So the importance of watching the show, again, is to get you there, because you can be free. The statistics based on the survey that was done by this top financial firm, again, as I wrap up, we will continue this talk, but I'm going to be wrapping up. So we'll talk about 44% of families couldn't afford an emergency payment of $1,000 or more. $1,000. Now, $1,000 is not a lot of money. It is for some people, but it's really not a lot of money. But if the credit card is already maxed out, there's not $1,000. If there's not enough coming in on the, with the paycheck because the income was lost, the stimulus check is not enough, because these families reported that even the extra $600 that they have gotten throughout the pandemic each time, even from unemployment, that it still wasn't enough to take care of their expenses. Some people were able to save it, but the small percentage are those people who had an emergency savings, at least 8 months to a year of emergency savings put away, because they started to build that financial home. And don't forget, if you haven't started that financial home, or if you've already built the financial home, there's knowledge to be gained here. I am here to provide you with a real financial education, because I care about your success. I care about your family. I care about your freedom, your financial future. I care about taking you on this journey with me to make sure that you get there safely. So if you continue to tune in every Sunday at 12 noon, you will be able to continue to build that financial home solid. I will work with you on those financial issues. I will bring you guests that will give you more information about how to secure your wealth as we build your wealth, because you will be financially free. You will be wealthy. You continue to watch Millennium TV 24 in sponsorship with Roku TV, Amazon TV, Apple TV, and if you download the app, don't forget to download the app on your Android and your iPhone and all smart TVs. You can find us on all smart TVs. Also tune in to YouTube. See you next week. Same time, same place. Be well and enjoy your financial independence day as you build your financial home. This is Cynthia Abbott with Money Talks. Have a great day, everyone.